You're 25 years old. You've just landed a decent job, and you're finally making real money. You tell yourself, I'll start investing next year. Then next year comes, and it's okay after I pay off this credit card. Then you're 28, 29, 30, and you still haven't put a single dollar into an investment account. Meanwhile, your coworker, the one who makes less money than you, started investing like $50 a week 3 years ago. And somehow, they've already got a portfolio worth over 10 grand that's growing on its own. And you're sitting there thinking, how? How does that even work? How is this person who earns less than I already ahead of me financially? Look, if that scenario sounds painfully familiar, you are not alone. And honestly, that's exactly why I made this video.
My name is Luis, and I spend way too much time thinking about compound interest, wealth building strategies, and why most people stay broke, even when they earn good money. If you're someone who knows you should be investing, but you keep putting it off because the whole system feels confusing or overwhelming, or like it's designed for people who already have money, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out.
Because today, I'm going to break down the single most powerful force in personal finance. Albert Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. Now, whether he actually said that or not is debatable. But here's the thing. Whoever said it was absolutely right. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how compound interest works, why it's so powerful, and most importantly, how to actually use it, starting today, even if you don't have a lot of money. So let's start with the basics, because I think a lot of people have heard the term compound interest, but don't really understand what makes it different from regular interest. Simple interest is straightforward. You invest $1,000, you earn, say, 5% a year, that's $50. Every year, you get $50 on your original $1,000. That's it. It's flat, it's predictable, it's boring. Compound interest is a completely different animal. With compound interest, you earn interest on your interest. So year one, same thing. You get $50 on your $1,000. But year two, you're earning 5% on $1,050. That's $52.50. Year three, you're earning on $1,102.50. And that gap keeps widening every single year. Now, you might be thinking, Luis, that's like $2 extra. Who cares? And I get it. In the short term, the difference looks like nothing. But this is where it gets really interesting, because compound interest isn't a short-term game. It's a long-term monster. Let me give you a real example that genuinely blew my mind the first time I ran the numbers. Let's say you start investing $200 a month at age 25. You pick a simple index fund that historically returns around 10% per year, which is roughly what the S&P 500 has averaged over the last several decades, according to data going back to 1926. You invest $200 a month, every month, and you don't touch it until you're 65. How much do you think you'd have? Take a guess. You would have invested a total of $96,000 of your own money over those 40 years. But your account wouldn't be worth $96,000. It would be worth approximately $1,260,000. You read that right. You put in 96 grand. Compound interest generated over $1,100,000 on top of that. For free. You didn't work for that money. Your money worked for that money. Now, here's the part that should make you lose sleep if you've been procrastinating. Let's say instead of starting at 25, you wait until 35. Same $200 a month, same 10% return, but now you only have 30 years instead of 40. You'd end up with about $452,000. That's still great, but you lost over $800,000 by waiting 10 years. And here's what most people don't realize. In those extra 10 years, you would have contributed an additional $24,000 of your own money.
24,000 in, but 800,000 more out. That's the power of time, combined with compounding. It's not linear, it's exponential. And every year you wait, you're not just losing that year's gains. You're losing every year of compounding that would have built on top of those gains. Okay, so if the math is this clear, why isn't everyone doing it? And this is where we need to talk about psychology. Because the math is the easy part. Your brain is the hard part. Here's the thing. Human beings are wired for immediate gratification. There's a concept in behavioral economics called hyperbolic discounting. It basically means we massively overvalue rewards we can get right now and massively undervalue rewards in the future. A Bankrate survey found that only about half of American adults own any stock market investments at all. And according to Federal Reserve data, the median retirement savings for Americans under 35 hovers around barely $13,000. $13,000. That number should scare you. And it's not because people are dumb. It's because our brains literally evolved to prioritize the present. $100 at the mall today feels more valuable than $40,000 in a retirement account 30 years from now, even though mathematically, that's insane. Think of it like this. Compound interest is like planting a tree. In the first few years, it looks like nothing is happening. It's just a stick in the ground. You're putting water on it, giving it sunlight, and it's just sitting there. But underneath the soil, the roots are spreading. And then, one day, it explodes. The growth becomes visible, then rapid, then absolutely massive. But most people dig up the tree after 2 years because they haven't seen a forest yet. That's exactly what happens with investing. People start, they check their account after 6 months, they've made like $37 in gains, and they think it's pointless, so they stop. Or worse, they pull the money out to buy something, and they never get to experience the explosion. Now, I have to be honest with you about something, because this conversation isn't complete without it. Compound interest doesn't care whose side it's on. It's just a mathematical force, and if you have high interest debt, it's working against you with the same relentless power. Let's say you have $5,000 on a credit card at 22% interest, and you're only making minimum payments. Here's the math that credit card companies pray you never do. It would take you over 17 years to pay it off, and you would pay over $8,000 in interest alone. On a $5,000 balance, you'd pay back over $13,000 total. That is compound interest destroying your wealth instead of building it. So before you even start investing, look, I need you to hear me on this. Get rid of high interest debt first. I know that's not the sexy advice, but you cannot build a house while the foundation is on fire. Pay off the high interest debt, then redirect every single one of those payments into investments. That's the move. All right, so let's get practical. Here's what most people don't realize. Starting is easier than you think, and it matters more than how much you start with. Step 1. Open a brokerage account or a Roth IRA. Platforms like Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard let you open accounts with literally $0. No minimum, no excuses. You can do this on your phone during your lunch break today. Step 2, automate a contribution, even if it's small. $25 a week, $50 a month, whatever you can do. The amount almost doesn't matter at the beginning. What matters is building the habit and getting time on your side. Remember, time is the most important variable in the compounding equation, not the dollar amount. Step 3, invest in a broad market index fund. Something like a total stock market index fund or an S&P 500 index fund. These are diversified, they have extremely low fees,
and they've historically delivered strong returns over long periods. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to watch CNBC all day. You just need to be in the market consistently. Step 4, do not touch it. Seriously, don't check it every day. Don't panic when the market dips. A study by Fidelity actually found that the accounts with the best performance belonged to people who literally forgot they had them. Let that sink in. The best investors did nothing. They just let compounding do its work. And step 5, increase your contributions every time your income goes up. Got a raise? Bump your investment by even half of that raise amount. This is called lifestyle creep defense, and it's one of the most effective wealth building habits you can develop. You won't feel the difference in your daily life, but your future self will feel it enormously. I want to leave you with a way to think about this that completely changed my relationship with money. Every dollar you have is an employee. When you invest in it, you're putting that employee to work. And through compound interest, that employee starts hiring other employees with their own earnings. Those new employees hire more employees. Over time, you've built an entire workforce generating income for you around the clock. Weekends, holidays, while you sleep, and you never have to manage a single one of them. Now, when you spend $1 on something you don't need, you're not just losing that dollar, you're firing that employee and every future employee it would have ever hired. A $5 coffee isn't $5. Invested for over 30 years at 10%, that $5 is about $87. I'm not saying buy coffee. I'm saying understand the true cost of every financial decision. When you see money through this lens, your spending habits change naturally. You don't need discipline. You need awareness. Look, I know this is a lot of information, but if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Compound interest is the single most accessible wealth building tool available to ordinary people. You don't need a trust fund. You don't need a 6-figure salary. You don't need to understand options trading or cryptocurrency or any of that noise. You just need to start. Be consistent and give it time. The best time to start investing was 10 years ago. The second best time is literally right now, today, before you close this video and get distracted by something else. So here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment below telling me one action you're going to take after watching this. Open an account. Set up an automatic transfer. Something. Hold yourself accountable. And if you found this helpful, share it with one person you care about who needs to hear this. Because honestly, nobody teaches us this stuff in school, and they really should. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I make videos like this every single week, breaking down the money concepts that can genuinely change your financial future. Smash that like button. It helps this video reach more people who need it. I'll see you in the next one.